I had a craving for Mapo tofu, so let's make it. Typically, Mapo tofu is made with a softer tofu and served over rice, but one thing that absolutely shreds my blood sugar is rice. I was trying to think of how I can still have a pretty traditional take on it, but without needing the rice as a vehicle, so I thought, why not make tofu nuggets? I cut a block of firm tofu into about 2-inch pieces and boiled them in salted water for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I took about 5 dried heaven-facing chilies and ground those up. You can use any medium-spiced dried pepper here like Calabrian chilies or chili de árbol. After draining the tofu and letting it cool down a little, I lightly coated each piece in potato starch and fried them for about 5 minutes. I have the teensiest fryer, so I had to do this in batches, but it gave the pieces a chance to rest before I double fried them for another 4 or 5 minutes to get them extra crispy crunchy. Now onto the actual dish. I put all my mise en place together not just so you can see everything, but the cooking process goes pretty quickly, so you want everything ready to go. While my wok preheated, I chopped up 2.5 tablespoons of Sichuan doubanjiang, or Sichuan chili bean paste. I then fried up way too much ground meat, but use mushrooms or textured vegetable protein if you want to keep it vegetarian. After frying for about 8 to 10 minutes, I put it aside and cleared out most of the fat before frying up my bean paste. I then chopped up about a tablespoon of doucher or fermented black beans. Honestly, I don't think there are good substitutes for the black beans or the chili bean paste, but you can buy them online or at any Asian grocery store. I also soaked my black beans in water for about 10 minutes to curb the funkiness. After about a minute, I add in 2 teaspoons of the ground chilies from earlier, 1 tablespoon of minced ginger, and 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. You want your oil to be stained a really pretty red. After about a minute, I put in 3/4 cup of stock. You can use any stock you want, or hell, use water. After about a minute, I put in half a teaspoon of Sichuan pepper. I used whole and ground, a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper powder, and then a slurry of a tablespoon of potato starch and 2.5 tablespoons of water. Cook that all together until it's thick and glossy, and then I added in most of my scallion, and of course my super crispy crunchy tofu. Toss it all together and you're done. Using the fried tofu in place of rice helped give me that substantial bite you get with the traditional dish without being too concerned with the carb count. Because I used potato starch, you can see I did have a little glucose spike, but still within my range and definitely better than what I would have had with rice. Try this recipe out, share with your friends, and let me know how it turns out. Always remember, food never has to be boring unless you want it to be.